tired of being overweight. I was uncomfortable in my body and I knew that I needed to make a change. So that is exactly what I did. So let me tell y'all about my 7-year fitness journey. I'm so excited, y'all. I could not wait to make this video. So my fitness journey started back in 2018. This is literally when I shifted my mindset. Like prior to 2018, I ate whatever I wanted. I did not work out. I did not care to work out. You could not pay me to go to nobody's gym, girl, okay? I was not into it. It just wasn't my vibe. I enjoy eating unhealthy. I'm not gonna lie, back then. And I enjoy snacking and I enjoy not being able to see it physically. Like I've always been a small girl and I've always been able to eat whatever I wanted and didn't gain any weight, and I took that for granted. A relationship was the reason why I decided to lose weight. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Even though I wasn't eating healthy, I wasn't working out, it didn't look like it on the outside. I got with somebody that actually enjoyed cooking. Now keep in mind, y'all, it's so funny because I did not know how to cook back then. I was young, girl. I did not know how to cook. I was not into cooking. Like I was used to live with my parents. So when I got with this man that knew how to cook, I was excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, he know how to cook, and he know how to cook all the good stuff, all the unhealthy stuff with the grease. Oh yes, girl, it was delicious. It took me a minute to actually see myself start to change with my body when I was eating that way. But in the beginning, girl, we was eating everything under the sun. He was making breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I was eating it up, not even realizing like, girl, you are doing too much. So it probably took about a year of being in a relationship of just eating. Obviously, we going out, you know how it is when you first get in a relationship. Y'all dating, y'all going out, y'all enjoying yourself. For some reason, the women always are the ones that gain the weight. The relationship weight, as they like to call it. I did not realize I was actually gaining weight until I personally feel like it was until the person I was dating made it obvious to me. Like certain clothes that I was able to wear before, it just didn't look the same anymore or didn't feel the same on my body, or them commenting on it now, it just wasn't a comment before, so it made me feel a little more insecure. On the outside, I still thought I looked good. Now, I didn't feel my best, being honest, but I never been someone that allowed the way I felt to make me feel insecure in a sense to other people. No one else was probably able to know that I was insecure, but deep down inside, I was. I definitely started to feel insecure in a relationship. I didn't stop eating. I was not going to the gym. It still didn't make me change my mind in the sense of eating healthy and going to the gym, girl. I just was like, okay, look, this is just how I'm feeling. I'm in this relationship and this is just what it is. Like, I'm not changing because I'm enjoying the food and it tastes good. It didn't take until I got out of the relationship for me to really take it seriously. So I got out of the relationship, and the moment that I got out of the relationship, y'all, I felt like I had some form of revenge that I needed to get on the person because I made it their fault. I didn't take accountability for myself either, as to know like, yeah, you were going overboard, you were not working, like you knew better. The way they made you feel about it made you feel like you wanted revenge. That was my mentality, right? That's why I always say now, you have to take accountability for yourself. Not saying that the person didn't make me feel away, but at the end of the day, I also knew better. This is my first time getting my own place. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm moving out on my own. Now, even though I don't feel my best, I don't look my best, the fact that I'm now starting a new journey for myself, it made me feel like, okay, I want revenge. I'm on my own. I got my own place. I'm about to lose weight. I'm about to glow up, I'm about to get myself together, and I'm gonna look good, and he gonna be mad. That was my mentality. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't come from nothing else but revenge. And I'm happy that it started that way because it made me go hard. I was still eating unhealthy. I wasn't going to the gym. But it became to some point where I'm like, you really need to do better. Every day I went in the shower, y'all, I had a mirror right there before I got in the shower, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was disgusted with my body when I looked in the mirror. I was disgusted. I was like, yeah, you look bad. To me, when I looked in the mirror, personally, y'all, I was not happy, but I wasn't ready yet. I looked crazy to myself and I didn't like what I saw, but I still was not ready yet. I was not ready yet. It got to a point where as though I started to become really tired from the food I was eating and me not working out, y'all. Like, I was eating everything under the sun. Even though I saw it, I started to feel it now. And I'm always sleeping. I'm always out of breath. I just feel like, you know, when I was walking around, it just felt like just extra weight just on me. Like, I actually started to feel it. One day, something just clicked for me. And I'm just like, you know what? It's time. it's time. Now, one thing to know about me, y'all, is when I commit to something, I go overboard. Like when I commit to something seriously and I have made my mind up that this is exactly what I'm going to do, I go overboard. Sometimes that can be a good thing, sometimes it can be a bad thing. But in this case, it worked out. I said, I need to lose weight. I'm serious. I'm gonna get in the gym. I'm gonna start eating healthy. I am going to get this weight off of me. I say, let me look up some meal plans, some diets, you know, what do I need to do to start? And for me, the first thing I came across was the keto diet. Now, the keto diet is not something I would recommend now, but back then it piqued my interest and I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? I need to know more. I started really digging into the keto diet and figuring out exactly what I needed to eat, exactly what I couldn't eat. Girl, I became obsessed. So I went in the kitchen, my refrigerator, my cabinets, I threw everything away that was not on this list, which was probably almost all of my food because, girl, I clearly told you I was not eating healthy, right? I did the keto diet. I went to the grocery store. I got my groceries. I got everything I needed to do this diet. And I said, I am going to take this seriously. I'm going to also start going to the gym. I started going to the gym at the job that I worked at that time, so I didn't have to pay for any kind of membership. Everything I needed was available to me. I just had to commit to it, which is what I did. 3 months, y'all. I was locked in. I tracked every single thing I put in my mouth. That's where it started for me, to where I learned how to track my food, a calorie deficit, what that was. The app that I used back then, which is the app I still use now, was the Carb Manager app. I tracked everything. When I say everything, I was obsessed. And I went to the gym almost every single day, either before work, after work, on my lunch break. Like, y'all, it was crazy. It was really crazy because I was so determined. Consistently did that for 3 months. I was not playing. I didn't really go out much because I already knew if I went out and went to dinner and all that, it was going to take me off my diet. I didn't need nothing to take me off of this journey that I had started because I was committed and I was determined. 3 months went by, girl, and when I tell you I lost 30 pounds in 3 months, now, even though I had lost 30 pounds in 3 months, y'all, I had gotten so small in a sense to where I didn't have any definition. I just looked skinny, but I was so obsessed that I didn't care. Like, I was just overweight. I don't care now that I'm skinny. Like, you can't tell me nothing. I had a flat stomach. That was my mentality. I went from a gut to a flat stomach, girl. You could not tell me nothing. I just was skinny. I didn't have any type of muscle on me. It's because I was obsessed with cardio. I got on that elliptical every single time I went into the gym. The first thing I did was get on the elliptical. That thing will shred you. And that wasn't the only thing I was doing, but baby, that is a full body workout. You know, I was doing the elliptical almost every single day. I was lifting weights, but not really like heavy weights to where it would give me any type of definition or like mass muscle on me. I just looked flat everywhere, girl. No boobs, no butt. The stomach was on fleek though, okay? The stomach was flat, girl. As flat as it can be. And I was like, listen, this is all I care about. As long as I had a flat stomach, but that's not really what you should be focused on. You want to have some muscle definition. You want to have more protein in your diet. Like, that's why I say the keto diet, I just don't recommend it because it just made me look just flat. I didn't mind. I'm not gonna lie. I did not mind because I went from being overweight to this feeling that I just had so much energy. For a couple of years, I was cool with that look. I was cool with that look. I was feeling confident. Girl, you could not tell me nothing, okay? You couldn't tell me nothing, girl. Later down the line, you know, I've been this size. I've been maintaining it now for a couple of years. I wasn't on keto anymore, but I knew how to manage the foods that I was eating because I had tracked food and look at labels and everything for 3 months. So at this point, I was like, okay, I'm acclimated on knowing what I need to eat, what I don't need to eat, how much I can eat, whatever. Baby, the pandemic came. Dun dun dun. Girl, listen, everything was shut down. The gym was shut down. Listen, if you know, you know. I'm not getting into that point, but my whole point in bringing that up is that's when things started to shift, when the weight started to come back, right? The weight started to come back, and I got into another relationship too. That's why I say, girl, be careful in them relationships, okay? You need to make sure you are mindful of what you are eating and doing outside of your man, girl. Now, this relationship, it wasn't unhealthy in a sense to where, you know, we was eating unhealthy or whatever like that. Like, I had already got accustomed to eating healthy. However, it's just like being bored in the house, everything's shut down. You can't just go into your normal routine of going to the gym and doing all these things, a healthy lifestyle that you probably was used to. So things started to just slow down a little more. It wasn't just the best choices. Like, I wasn't really doing the things that I was doing before. like eating a little more, snacking a little more, you know, just regular things that you don't even realize you're doing until you step on that scale. I was 175 back then, and then I had dropped 30 pounds, so I had got down to 145. So then I gained another 20 pounds, so now I'm like 165, right? So I'm cool with that, but it's still like a little uncomfortable because I was just 145. So I was cool with the little 20 pounds, like it was cool, you know, I looked a little more fuller as a woman. I'm like, cool, I can do this, but I think I just got a little too comfortable, you know, to where I'm like, okay, I got a little room now to look a little more full as a woman. I could start a little snacking a little more. It ain't gonna hurt, right? Okay. After the, you know, pandemic and everything, I kind of was just maintaining like 160, 165 for a while, like a couple of years. And I was cool with it. It wasn't too crazy, you know? Fast forward a couple years later. Now, keep in mind, y'all, I'm still actively working out and eating healthy, but I'm still snacking and doing little things that I just doing too much of, you know. There's nothing wrong with snacking and eating unhealthy sometimes, but clearly you have to have some type of balance. So a couple years later now, I'm in Houston. Now we just fast forward because there's not much in between that really happened. You know, I was kind of maintaining my physique, 160, 165, you know what I mean? So anyway, I moved to Houston. I was probably about 160, 165, because baby, one thing I knew is how much I weighed. I stayed on that scale, and that's not really healthy, but baby, listen, when you come from a space of being uncomfortable in your body and being overweight, you are very just critical of your body, and it's sad to say it, but it's true. Here we go again, another relationship, girl, another relationship. These relationships will take you out, I tell you that. Nah, never blame nobody else, but you know, you just be enjoying yourself. So now I'm in a new relationship now. I'm in Houston. Y'all already know how the food is in Houston. If you know, you know, baby. One thing about it, Houston gonna have that food, okay? And it's gonna be good. And my inner self is always a foodie. Y'all cannot forget that. I am naturally a foodie. So it's hard for me sometimes, but now I've gained control. But it's like me controlling the person inside that just want to eat everything, but I know I can't eat everything. So when I got here, I'm just like, I want to try all these new restaurants with my man. We going out, we having fun, and then in the meantime, when I get home, you know, I'm snacking, eating ice cream or a piece of cake or a cookie or donut. Like, even though I'm still working out, those things, you don't realize it, but those things will still make you gain weight. So after being here for a couple of years, I would say last year, more so 2024, because I ain't been here that long. It's been just like maybe 3 years. So last year, 2024, I had got up to like 170, which still wasn't bad because I'm 5'8", y'all. I'm 5'8", I work out actively. I'm pretty consistent with eating clean, but I'm snacking too much, girl. I'm snacking too much. Sometimes I want pizza, sometimes I want a sub. Girl, listen, it be hard out here for a pimp. Last year, I got up to maybe like 170. Then it started to creep to 175. Then it started to creep to 180. I'm like, hold on now, girl. You're doing a little too much. So around about November, maybe October, November is when I'm like, okay, cool. I'm now about 175, pushing 180. But November is when I hit 180. And I'm like, okay, it's not more so about the scale sometimes. It's definitely how you feel, but the scale also matters. The scale is a good reference point. But for me, it's just like I was eating too many sweets. That's what the problem was. The sugar was the issue. The sugar was the issue. The sugar was the issue, girl. The sugar, the dairy, it just was bad. It was bad. I just felt like I always just need a little snack, you know? Sometimes you need to go to sleep. In November is when I said, you know what, Rashaya, you're tired. You're starting to feel that tired feeling again. The sugar was weighing me down. My face looking all puffy. My gut just wasn't right. My stomach was hurting every morning. Like, girl, I got tired of it. I said, you know what, I need to lose about 20 pounds. Only really I say 20 to give myself a 5-pound cushion room. Because I could have lost 15 and been fine. I knew how to do it. It's not that I didn't know how to do it. I knew how to do it. Y'all already didn't heard me being obsessed and tracking food back in 2018, so I knew what I could do and I knew I could do it, but I just wasn't ready. I went on a calorie deficit. I was eating 1,500 calories for 2 months, 2.5 months, and I was able to lose 20 pounds. Now, this was a healthy loss of 20 pounds. It wasn't keto. It wasn't a low carb. It wasn't none of that. It was simply just me eating cleaner, cutting back on sugar, still working out consistently, lifting weights, incorporating cardio more, just regular traditional way, but the calories that I was consuming was only 1,500. And some people may feel like, well, that part was a little extreme, and it was. You know, I told y'all I gotta go overboard sometimes. 1,500 for me was sustainable. Obviously, I did it for 2.5 months, and girl, I told you, when I commit to something, I commit. So I did lose the 20 pounds, and that's where y'all got introduced to me, because I'm not new to YouTube, but y'all was introduced to me when I started to, you know, track and document my 20-pound weight loss journey back in November 2024. I started posting shorts on here December 2024, and now we are up to this point. So I am now, you know, in the 160s. But now, girl, I got down to 160, right? I lost the weight. I feel absolutely amazing. I feel confident. I can fit my jeans again, girl. Everything just feels good. My stomach just feels better. I've started to incorporate tea now every morning. Y'all already know. I done cut back on the coffee. I done cut back on the sugar. Listen, we had a good spot. Now, over this past 3 weeks, girl, the holiday, I've been having a little fun. But like I said, I gave myself a 5-pound cushion room, 5-pound grace period, girl. That's it. That's all we getting around here. I ain't playing no more. I'm tired. I ain't going back, okay? But right now, I'm at like 165, 166, you know, and I'm cool, but I want to get back to 160 because I need that grace. I need the grace. But overall, y'all, that's pretty much my journey. Like, it started out kind of like in a sense of revenge. It got me to this point now. I'm able to know what works for me, what don't. You don't have to be extreme. You can just literally just eat healthier, make better choices, cut back on certain things, be more active, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited because this is the introduction to long form content on my channel. So make sure y'all let me know what other videos y'all want, what I eat in a day videos, advice, tips, tricks, whatever you want to know from me regarding health and fitness. Let your girl know. Hopefully this went in some form of order to where y'all kind of understand or got a better idea of where I started and how I've got to this point with these muscles. But yes, y'all, anyway, that's it, y'all. That's my 7-year fitness journey. If you like the video, y'all already know. Comment, show your girl some love, because I was nervous. But your girl done popped it now. I done popped up on here now, so now we got to get into routine. So anyway, I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, girl.